I'll take you anywhere. Just tell me I'll be there. We don't need a plan, I like it unprepared. Whatever comes our way, we'll stay there for the day. So dream, dream away. So dream, dream away. Clear up my vision. I want colors to find. Turned up from black and white. Find what I'm seeking. Leave my troubles behind. Scars from another time. We're leaving now. Into the clouds. I'll take you anywhere. Just tell me I'll be there. We don't need a plan. I like it unprepared. Whatever comes our way, we'll stay there for the day. So dream, dream away. So dream, dream away. Take you anywhere. Just tell me I'll be there. Whatever comes our way, just stay there for the day. So dream, dream away. So dream, dream away. So dream, dream away.
Crucial times for Bitcoin here. Not a good look as we struggle here at 95,800, but can we get back above 96K for BTC? Bitcoin tie in tow, ready to rock. We got this. We could do this together. Shout out to each and every one of you. Stay positive. Stay amazing. First thing we're going to do is put the lemon into the water and push ourselves, baby. We got this. I'm putting the lemon into the water right now. I'm going to decalcify that pineal gland, get myself on another level. Always working on my mental stability. Always working on my physical strength. Always pushing forward every single day. You got this. You can. You will. You are the best. Stop listening to negative people. Stop letting this market take you down. You got this. You got to bring up the endorphins. You got to raise yourself up. So many people are depressed out and gone. They're going to get wiped away. We're going to be here when we keep cooking, when the markets come back, when the altcoins start ripping. We will be here ready to take the gains. I'm ready to go, baby. Let's go. Stop playing around. I'm ready, man. We might make gains today in the stream. I'm in a trade right now. It looks like we're about to pump. Let's see what happens. We are the opportunity. If we believe it, we will find it. Shout out to all my beautiful souls here. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for jumping on in and sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Liver Show. Today is the day we change our lives. Today's the day we make it happen. Today's the day we stop playing games. We create communities that are strong. We empower each and every one of ourselves to become better. And we just find a way to win. Winning is a mindset. Winning is a mentality. When you're winning in your mind, you're going to win no matter what. They cannot stop the winning. Shout out to everybody here on our way to 100,000 subscribers and more. No one's going to stop me from getting to 100K. It's impossible. They're not going to stop us. We're going to continue to push every single day. So God bless you. I'm here. You're here. That's the first step. And we're going to break it down like we do every single day. Sammy's in a long. How is Sammy longing? What is Sammy doing in this long? Let's take a look at Sammy's long. All right. And why did Sam long? What is Sam doing? What was Sam thinking? How is he up 8%? Up $40 on, being up $40 on $480 is a feat most people could never even achieve trading leverage. Isn't that crazy? Like, some people could never make 8% on their $400. You should look at every single win and be so excited. So look, could we get to 118,000? Could this be the possible ending? Enough is enough. The daily is beat to the ground. We're in a higher low here. And I'm going to break down kind of what I see happening and why I decided to take a bit of a long and how I'm in the gains. If you took the long with me, you are in the gain. Again, I'm not trying to say I'm up huge. I chip away $500 here, $1,000 here. Hey, if I only make $5,000 this week, $4,000 this week on my futures account, it's great. That's great. Think about it. That's $20,000 a year, a month. That's $200,000 in 10 months and that's just slow. Never mind. What if we really get some huge moves and you're able to get even more? And yeah, you could lose too. I get it. But for the most part, I keep chipping away every single day and I don't get liquidated. I got my capital to continue to grow. Look, we're up 13%. Bitcoin ripping 96,260. If you took the trade with me, you're in the game. You can't say anything, but you're in the game. That's what you can say. Shout out to everybody. Let me move myself back to where we were. I got to move myself because on Jerome Powell days, right? Let me just get a look here. Handsome guy, huh? Who is that guy over there? Who's that internet man? That internet sensation, Sammy Price. And here we go. Let's see what can happen. Shout out to all my beautiful people that made this show happen. Thank you. Gratitude towards each and every one of you. May I hit that like button and get the likes up to the watchers? I would greatly appreciate it. So Bitcoin getting the beautiful punch to the upside off of this insane bullish divvy. And then can the 15-minute crack the 200 MA? Can we finally get some movement here? Look at this bullish divergence on my indicator. They did go and sweep the lows first on this descending triangle before they ripped it back to the upside. It's been an insane roller coaster ride, if you ask me. And I've been doing everything I can, racking my brain to figure out what's happening. We're inside this symmetrical triangle right now for Bitcoin, which is a 50-50 pattern. This gets tight, and it's a 50% either way. They mainly break to the downside, so it tells me the probability is 93.2, but anything is possible. Why are you long then, Sam? Well, I take it one step at a time, and sometimes I even counter trade myself. I'll tell you what. Every once in a while, I get an instinct to counter trade myself, and I don't understand how, but it plays out. It's a bit odd, right? Shout out to all the beautiful people on the world. Shout out to my mom and father who died in 2023. Both of them 7 months apart. I love you, Mom. I love you, Dad. Jimmy and Irene, Daisy and Finn. And may their memories last forever. They were awesome through my actions and through my behavior. May people know the names and the legacy and the energy. Even if you never met my mom, you'll understand she must have been an amazing person. Look, she made me. I'm amazing. So my mom has to be amazing over here. You know what I'm saying? So the idea is that, right? You've been excited. I've got you laughing. I made you feel good. My dad was funny, right? So I make you laugh. That's probably some of my dad's sense of humor. My mom was uplifting and amazing. All right, she always had a way to make people smile. That's probably how I make you smile. So pieces of my parents are in the stream every single day. You get to know them without even knowing who they were through me. And so if you like the stream, if you cherish your life, if you're joyful, then know my parents were the same, and they wanted you to feel the same, baby. And so they made me, Sammy P. And here I am, the Crypto Lifer. So God bless you all in these critical times for Bitcoin. What will happen to BTC? Will we get to 97.2, break back above the weekly support? Or will we go all the way down to 91,000 to 88 and be demolished by the bears? Only time will tell here on the Crypto Lifer Show. Stay tuned for the next episode today. So, as we continue through this beautiful journey of life, love, happiness, and finances, even though I'm not a financial advisor, nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice, we start with the weekly chart. I even don't mind the 2-week chart. The 2-week chart with these beautiful wicks to the upside, suggesting some buy pressure here, which is pretty nice, right? Whenever I've seen a massive wick on the 2-week chart, like right there, it has followed the move to the upside. That one eventually did get eaten, though, so that's a pretty big wick. But for the most part, a wick on the 2-week, and you don't get a lot of them. Not this big, not in Bitcoin's life cycle. So you can see the volatility is increasing with the massive movements because you never had wicks like this in the 2-week chart. Not as many, not as prevalent. They weren't as ubiquitous, okay? Ubiquitous. I teach you words every day, ubiquitous, all right? What does the word ubiquitous mean? It means like occurring frequently. Like you could say there's many McDonald's. McDonald's are ubiquitously placed around Manhattan, right? There's a McDonald's there, and then there's one on 34th Street, there's one on 28th Street. They're all over the place. They're ubiquitous over here. Ubiquitous. U-B-I-T, U-B-I-Q, U-I-T-U-O-U-S, ubiquitous. Ubiquitous, all right? Being everywhere at once, omnipresent, seem to appear everywhere at the same time. It's kind of like me in the crypto space. I'm a bit ubiquitous. It's almost like I'm always streaming. Like, well, didn't I just see a stream yesterday over here? So the 2-week chart looks pretty good. The weekly chart looks nice to me. I like what I'm seeing here. The 21-day coming into price action. The 200, the stochastics coming down. And, you know, no bearish div, right? They're both forming the same on the weekly. And so we handled bearish div like a champ so far. We ate it alive with a higher low, which is just very, very... That's bullish. That's a bullish sign. You have massive bearish divergence, and it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks. After bearish divergence, look at this. We had massive bearish divergence here. Massive friend divergence. We had massive bearish divergence here. I mean, once it was confirmed, like here, it was confirmed about there. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 weeks from there, you were just in the dumps, forming a bear flag. This hasn't been the case. We've had some bullish tones after the bearish div of the weekly. Something I haven't considered, something we should think about, something we should all kind of look at. You know, I thought about one thing that I like about this channel as I finish this as get into the analysis is all the other channels that I watch that the algorithm feeds me, they try to tell me that the bull run was coming, that the altcoins were a week away, 5 days. I never said that. I never said that to you. I told you guys that it looked like we could dump to 68,000. I've been bearish as heck, telling you to be careful. If anything, people would say, that's horrible for your business. Aren't you a trader? Don't you run a trading group? Why would you tell people that? Because I'm honest. I like when people find out that I'm honest because that is the strongest business. I may not be able to ride the wave at the moment. Like I could shill the fact, oh, it's coming. Join the trading group. More coming. What I can tell you is more knowledge is coming. Join my trading group for the knowledge. This is the best time to learn because the market's kind of flat right now. You have the time to post your charts. You have the time to watch all my videos. You have time. All the other times you're trying to watch while the market's flying and there's all this other stuff going and you're missing the hottest gains and everyone's making money and you're freaking out and then you don't do the research. So use this time right now to research my stuff. Jump on into the 99. You know, this is the best time to join my trading group because, again, I teach knowledge. I teach things you can use forever. I don't just shill coins at you like 99% of these other YouTubers. No offense, I love them all. But their algorithm depicts on them telling you, you got to buy this. The altcoins are about to pump tomorrow. Come on now. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that to you. I never promised you anything. I told you what I speculatively invested in, and I took a shot, and I told you any single day of the week we could get a black swan, things could not go our way. We are always You know, we're always taking a risk out here. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I'm saying you should be taking as financial advice, but that's the facts here. I tell you how it is, not how I want it to be, and not what could be the best for my business. You know, what's best for my business is to shill on you and keep telling you it's going to be great. I don't, you know, my mother is looking down on me right now, and she didn't raise a shill, man. Neither did my father. They raised Samuel James Price, and I'm going to be here every single day telling you what I see. Sometimes I'm wrong. Some people hate on me. Sometimes I'm bearish and we pump. Sometimes I'm bullish and we dump, right? I'm not a robot. But what I can promise you is that I show up every single day, that I give you every single thing that I have, and that I will not BS you, and that I'll give you every piece of my life, man. And if you want to give me the same, we can fly together, baby, and we can change the world. And that's all I'm here for. Amen. So the weekly, let's get back into brass tacks here in technical analysis as I yap about my life and yada, yada, yada. I know, you're like, I'm so sick of hearing about you, Sam, and your voice. I can't take it anymore. You're so full of it. I get it. But you know what? There's so much more to life than finances, because once you make the money, what are you going to do with it? Where are you going to go? Who are you going to become? Is the money going to make you? No, it's not. Of course not. The experiences in your life are going to form who you are. Money is just something you can use. It's just a tool. It's not your identity. People that make money their identity become very, very flat-lined. They actually lose a lot of vigor in life, and they become depressed. A lot of them go to drugs and alcohol, sex, and other weird, fixations because they don't find the meaning. The meaning of life is to love your wife. The meaning of life is to cherish your children. The meaning of life is to better all the people around you by bettering yourself and helping others. If you work out every day, take care of yourself, then you're going to be in good shape to do the same for others. If you're overweight, you can barely walk, then what example are you for your friends and family? You're not the best, right? If you're in great shape, if you look, you work out, you're a good example for your friends and family. So when you become the best version of yourself, you help the world become the best version of their selves. And you say, but Sam, isn't that selfish? If I think about myself so much, that's selfish, And I tell you, becoming the best version of yourself is the complete opposite of being selfish. It's actually the other way. It's about being so considerate to the rest of the world that you refuse to let them see mediocrity. It's about knowing when you step outside, you represent success and greatness, and you want others to feel that vigor and to go after that challenge. And if you go after that challenge, you let them know it's possible. When I did my 1,540 days straight live streaming, I let other people know that they can go after something unbelievably crazy in their mind, and they can do it. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. What are you waiting for? There's just no time but the present moment, baby. I get so excited. I get so freaked out. I bug out because these are the moments right now to change your life. It's not about tomorrow. It's not about, I'm going to wait for that phone call. Or, once my resume gets taken by this person, I'm going to make the job, turn it into something right now, put an ad out in the paper for a service, get it going. You've got it. Stop waiting for it tomorrow. I love y'all, but this is the time right now to make it happen. While everyone's depressed, everyone's not focused, this is the time to change your mind. It's always time to work on yourself, and it's always time to push yourself. Stop playing games. All right? Anyway, I get excited because we don't have, time is drifting away. You don't have any less time. Every single day you waste is a day you will never get back. Never get back. And I'm sorry to scare you or put the fire under your butt, but I'm telling you right now, you won't get it back, baby. So if you're wasting time at the barroom, if you're sitting around flicking TV channels, if you're just thinking about what you want to do and you keep waiting inside of those four walls, it's time to make a stand, baby. It's time to do something different. Today's the day you do it. I always say the secret to success is getting started. And yes, there's so much more to that once you get started, but it's getting started. That's the first step. If you don't get started, nothing else happens from that. You must create action. You're not always going to feel motivated. You're not always going to have the dream. But you can take action. Once you take action, motivation follows action. I have the 5-second rule. If you think of something to do and you're feeling like procrastinating, count from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and get up and start doing it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just start doing it. Don't waste time. Don't play games. All right? There's just a little window right now of opportunity for you to change the way you think about your life and to snatch success. But you gotta take it seriously. You gotta take it now. You gotta go after it right now. You don't have another day. Like, this is it. Stop playing games. My dad used to talk to me like this. He used to scare the crud out of me. He used to say, Sam, this isn't a dry run. This is one life, Sam. He said, you play games now. You're going to end up at... I was messing around at school. He's like, you're going to end up over here. He's like, you want to work at McDonald's? This is what my dad used to say to me. But CZ worked at McDonald's, Dad. But my dad used to say, do you want to work at McDonald's? You know what I mean? So the falling wedge can break to the upside here on the 3-day chart. This is what I'm looking for. Finally oversold. We were here before we got the bounce, even though they shredded us down, you know? Same scenario. Look at this long. And we're hugging a higher low, even with the biggest liquidation in the history of cryptocurrency. How the heck are they going to find more money to pull us down? That was all the money they could find. They got all the bears together conglomeratively and did everything they did to take the market down. But, you know, you got India buying, you got China buying, you got Russia buying, you got all these people on the low, OTC, you got nation states, you got Illinois, Wyoming, you got people wanting to get down. Every single state is going to, if they don't put it on their balance sheet, the state's not going to be able to compete with the other states. And then no one's going to want to live in that state because that state's going to be broke. You get it? So if everyone believes Bitcoin's going to go up in value as opposed to the dollar, and all you have to do is look at the last 20 years, they print every single dollar to zero. It's a fact. All fiat currency has been printed to zero. Okay? Over time. Not all of it. That's actually, you know, but majority of it, 90% of it has been printed to zero. Not only do I teach the charts here, but I teach the fundamentals of currency. I give you a financial history in what's happening in the markets. U.S. money supply, 1959 to 2018. Never mind the last 7 years. They printed more in the last 7 years than they even dreamed of in the history of the money printing. They probably printed more in the last 2 years than they have printed in the entire history of the dollar. It's exponential. It's a bleeding sore that opens and continues to bleed out, and the more you bleed, the more it opens up. And so look at this. People think, oh, that happens in 500 years. That's not my lifetime. But that's just not the truth. The average lifespan of a fiat currency is only 35 years, which means these events happen much more frequently than people realize. Look at the Peruvian dollar, 100,000 bill, the $10,000 bill, the $5 million Zaire, the $10 million Hungarian Perigold, the German $1 billion earmark. Dude, why would they print $10 billion, $5 billion? Why would they be doing this? Because they printed the money to zero, to the point where there was just no money left, my friends. No money left. You see what I'm saying? You just keep printing the dollar to the point where the value is gone. The value is gone. Like, you can't print to zero. You can't keep handing money to other countries around the world. Like this, we've been doing this now at an exponential rate. Okay? This is not libertarian. This is not democratic. This is not Republican. This is math. All right? The problem is they've turned math into a political warfare. If you look at if you're conservative and you want to make fiscal spending, you want to bring down, you're not it's like, anyway, I'm not going to get into it. But anyway, I will teach you the facts. You guys can figure out whatever you want with them, and we'll go from there. But blessings to everyone out there on the live. Thank you for being here. If you want to join the trading group and get the updates that I get, the insight, even just the mental stability, I also do subconscious mind training, and I do so much stuff that's happening without you even realizing, to push you. All right, let's get back into BTC. And I know you come here for the charts, but this is more than the chart. When the market stinks and we're in some tough times, you need to do a lot to create mental stability to push yourself through these tough times. I know it. I've been through markets for years and years and years. I know what it's like to go through many, many downtrends and have to fight through them. You have to work out. You have to push yourself. You have to have a mental regiment, a physical regiment. Trading is more about being on the consistent cycle for yourself. Okay? Today is more about how you're going to make it through all the ups and downs in your next 15 years as a trader. Don't come to my channel and just think every single day is going to be, I'm just going to get the chart and make these little gains. There's long-term mental gains that need to be stated here to keep you in the game long-term. If you really want to go as long as I have, if you want to make it 15, 10, 20 years as a trader, you don't want to just fly by night in a couple bull runs. You really want to make something of yourself, you really want to get somewhere, you're going to have to mentally train yourself to get through the toughest times in the markets. If you're not ready for those times, you will not make it. I don't care who you think you are. I don't care how many gains you've had. You will chase, you will run, you will go through this chop with all your capital. You'll have nothing left when the bull run's ready to rock again. because you couldn't handle your emotions because you kept chewing yourself up. I tell everyone to chill right now. People don't like it. People don't like that I'm not live trading constantly. People don't like that I'm making one trade every couple of days. People don't like that I'm not posting alts every 5 seconds, but it's the facts of life. This is what you got to do. You don't overtrade in nonsense and garbage. You don't throw your capital into bad markets. You keep your capital on the sidelines. You look what's happening. You know, what I do is I trade when the market has the best probabilities. Now, you don't know that if you haven't been trading for 10 to 20 years because you've only been through 3 years. So how the heck would you know when the cycle gives you the best probabilities? You don't. That's why you join a trading group. That's why you watch a guru. That's why you hang out with someone that's been in the market longer than you. Period. The market is similar to living inside of a jungle. I'm the guy that's been living in the jungle for 15 years. I know more about the snakes than you. I know more about all the leaves you can eat. I know when it rains. I know what the soil does. I know so much more about the environment that you're in. You don't even, I'd make your head spin. That's why when people come to me and they're 4 years into trading, they start running their mouth to me. I love it. Don't get me wrong. You may be smarter than me. You may be a better trader than me. But I've seen so much more of the market than you, so it does not matter. I will still trade circles around you because I've just been here longer than you. Understand? I don't care what you know. I've been around the markets for so long. Understand? So you're going to be able to gain insight from someone who's been in the markets. And it doesn't matter what it is. Forget about me. This is why people, this is why if you're going to go into the army, don't you want to be, you want the colonel or the general, whoever's leading you in the army, you want to make sure he's been there before. So he knows a lot more than you. He can help you. All right? So anyway, the 3-day chart looks like we can get a bounce here off of this falling wedge back to the upside. I like this higher low. Okay, this is why I'm looking long. But again, I saw it here and we were ripping green and I had to sell the trade. I saw it here. We were ripping green. I sold the trade. I sold all these wicks. Remember? I sold these wicks beautifully. Why? Well, we hit the 1 hour 200 MA. You remember? On one of these perfectly. I was using the small time frame 200 MAs and they told me that the weakness of the move was there and that I should take my profits. They're also really fast moves, and whenever I get a fast move, I know it's a short squeeze. Each of these wicks, the 1 hour was really too far away from the 21-day moving average, too fast. And it told me that we would likely come back, and we did, right? So that's what these wicks represent on the daily time frame. Now today we're starting a green candle with another wick here. Could we get tweezer bottoms? That would be a tweezer bottom on the daily. This candle would open where this one broke, and we would start to get a bit of a move here. Okay? And that's what you want. You want that daily candle dip to have the resurrection, that move back up. So can we get this move on the 3-day candle? And this candle, this will close at 1 day and 9 hours. So let's go to the daily. The daily yesterday was great, right? It was a bullish engulfing candle. Today we tried to bearishly engulf it, but again, you have a wick to the upside here. You have a massive liquidation wick here. You have a wick there. Wick. I've never seen in my life 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 days straight of wicking to the upside for Bitcoin. I've never seen it. I've never seen this. I mean, this tells me, right there we have like 3 days and then we come up. And right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days we come up. Here we have a massive liquidation. We have 5 days, you see? But very rare do I see a flat area of multiple wicks like this. Here we do. This was consult, and that was the bottom, right? People kept nibbling. Every time we dipped in, people nibbled, and that represented a bottom. Right there was a bottom too. A lot of wickage on the daily, you see? So whenever I see heavy wickage like that on the daily, especially as irregular as that is, it tells me something. It tells me something. At the same time, I'm a support and resistance guy. And let's take a look. So daily, look, resistance. We came up, we kind of bounced there. Wick. Through. We have some chop. But definitely resistance at what? 99,005. And look, this is a high volume node right there. This is the point of control. This indicator right here is called the VRVP. You add it by going here and typing in VRVP. All right, visible range volume profile. Some people call it the VPVR. All right. I think both will actually come out. You can hit this, but I do VRVP because that's how I'm just old, and I hit it. Now, when you hit that, though, it's not going to look like mine. Your VRVP is going to look like this. It's going to look very blocky, which is cool, but you don't see the gaps, and you can't trade. It's not as good. It doesn't give you as much information. So you're going to want to go here and just add a 0 to the 24, hit OK, and that's going to give you a far, segmented sections that'll show you far more little areas where you'll be able to take profits. Like right there, that's a profit taking. Like if I get into a futures trade and we get a pump, 102,100 is going to really, a lot of people are going to be taking profits there because it was the baseline of that head and shoulder. We had a resistance there, and we have a high volume node. We're looking for this to bounce up today, get above what's called the point of control, which is this red line. We want to gap up. Now look at this like a ball bouncing down a hill. The ball will bounce down the hill. All right. When someone first told me this, it relieved me. So the odds, once you get above the high volume node, the odds are very good that you're going to come at least to here, to $105,000. All right. Might want to take half profits here, or that's when I might move the stop loss to break even there and then see how far we can go on the trade. But these, I use the high volume nodes for profit taking, for stop loss moving, and just for, sometimes just taking off an overall scalp right off the trade if I'm looking for a scalp. So those are the ideas that I'm looking at here on the daily for the bounce. At the same time, you lose this high volume node, you drop down, but we lost it. We lost it here and we got held. Here we got held, and here we got held. It tells me that, even though we do have the gap down there and it could take us pretty low. See this gap? A gap in the VRVP that deep says, hey, yes, 66,000 is possible. 76,000 is possible because you're hanging on a high volume node. You're hanging on a point of control right there. Understand? Now, I use stochastics RSI. What are they? Stochastics RSI are a red line and a green line. When they're above the dotted line, they're at 73. When they're below the dotted line, they're at 20. Okay? Whenever we're down here, we're called oversold. Whenever we're hit, we're overbought. Now, this one I add is like this. Go to your indicators, type in RSI. Type in and I give this one neobutane with divergences. Now, if you haven't learned your divergences, this may kind of get you, but they're pretty clean, and it's still, you can still use the indicator the proper way. The idea behind this indicator is, yes, you want to start looking into buying below the dotted line. And that doesn't mean pinpoint accurate best prices, but if you DCA down here and wait to get back up here, you're likely going to win some trades. So this is telling us that Bitcoin's in the discount. All right, it's saying, hey, this asset or whatever asset you trade on, you do this on, but it's saying, hey, we're in the discount. And you can clearly use this indicator on like the 2-week chart, and you can say, hey, what if I use this on Bitcoin in its life cycle, or ever since like 2017, and what if I bought below whenever we were low or near these, and you'd be like, that was the low there. It gave you a pretty nice low there. It gave you a low here. It gave you a low there. And it told you that was your last chance to buy Bitcoin at about 54,000. We loaded up there, okay? Because I'm the 2-week guy. I like the 2-week chart when the stochastics are low. I've used it for years now. And I use it in conjunction with the Fear and Greed Index. When the Fear and Greed Index is into this 20-30 region, anywhere below 30, and the 2-week chart starts entering low stochastics, I buy big. I'm just giving, this is how I made, literally, this is how I got dumb rich. It's so stupid, right? I'm not trying to be rude, but like, this is how I did it. I used the stochastics in the 2-week chart, and I bought when the Fear and Greed Index got low. It took me 4 years to figure it out, but once I had it locked in, I was ready to rock. And I've been buying, and my biggest Bitcoin buys have really created my, all unrealized gains. I've never sold Bitcoin, but the gains are so big. We're talking, I 100x my BTC. I bought around $1,000, a little, even maybe a couple under them, like 950, but 950 to 1,100 was mainly a lot of my buys for Bitcoin. So when we hit 100,000, I had 100x my BTC. I want to know, anyone here 100x Bitcoin? Anybody else with me 100x their BTC? I just want to see how many OG riders we have that were able to hold Bitcoin as long as I did. And I still believe I'll hold it another 10 years. Bang, bang, bang. I like when people say stop lying. I would never lie, man. I wouldn't lie about my Bitcoin. There would be no reason to do that. Yeah. This guy 125x. I bet some of you maybe 1,000. So here we are on the 2-week chart for Bitcoin. So again, and this is the stuff I teach on my weekly, my class every single week. I teach a class every single week, and we go over this stuff all the time. Life or Vision trading course. Hit the QR code or the link to find out more. All right, and this class I teach you the stochastics RSI. what I do, what I handle, all the things that I go over, and I give you a 9-point checklist and more. It'll blow your mind. So if you want to jump into the class, it will be the last Saturday of this month, which I believe is the 22nd, in about 9 days. So I like to use the 3-day chart. Why? A lot of people don't use it. It's very powerful. And the bigger the time frame, the kind of more of a larger outlook you can see and kind of more clarity that you can bring to the table. So by using bigger time frames, I don't get caught up in the 1 minute, the 2 minute, even though I know that they have big power. All right? There's a lot of power in the smaller time frames. So look, this is a falling wedge. This falling wedge should break out. You almost double bottom the stochastics, and you're very oversold in the RSI. This indicator here is the RSI, the relative strength index. That has a dotted line at 68 and a dotted line at 30. You add this to your indications just by typing RSI. And you just hit, I just do here, relative strength index. This is basically taking an index of your strength. Like if you went to the gym and I put a band on your arm and you were able to lift weights, and by your third set, this little band would beep really high and say it would be indexing your strength and saying, hey, you normally don't push this much. This indicator basically indexes the strength of an entire asset, all the times it's pumped, all the the movement that it made and how it got pumped to the upside. And it says, hey, see, the last time we got up above this dotted line, it was able to tell us that this indicator was, and then look, it even had a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder there. So see the head and shoulder on the pattern that brought us to the downside? If you can't see it, I'll make it big. But I mean, that's a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder as clear as day, right? So you don't want to be buying when the RSI is above the dotted line. You want to be buying when the RSI is lower than the dotted line or somewhere in the medium area and when the stochastics are below the dotted line. If you're doing this, if you're buying when the stochastics are low and the RSI is low, you're buying the best prices. If you're buying when the stochastics are above the dotted line and the RSI is high, you're chasing the top. When you're doing this, the moving averages are also going to be far apart. This is why I teach my students to buy when the moving averages are tight. When moving averages are tight, you're going to see low stochastic, good RSI, and lack of bearish momentum in the MACD. This is the sauce. This is what I'm teaching you. You're also going to couple it with a high volume node. If you join my class, you're going to learn all this. You're going to know it like the back of your hand. You're going to know what to study, what to teach yourself. And within a few years, you're going to be able to know what I know. You're going to have the skills that I have, and you're going to be able to teach yourself how to fish. I could give you fishes. I could give you signals. I could feed you gains all day long. I could do it. Don't get me wrong. But how do I empower you to become amazing? As I show you how to do it yourself, right? And I teach you how to get it done. Now, it doesn't mean I don't show you my trades and I don't show you when I win or lose, because I like to be real. And you'll see me win many, 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 many gains in the trading group. You will. It just only, it's going to happen. I may even win today. You never know. So the 3-day chart looks good to me. I like what we're seeing on the 3-day chart. And you can see another one of my sauces. The moving averages are starting to conjoin. If this 21 could stay flat, if we can pump price up, it's going to pull the 50 up. It's going to pull the 80 up. It's going to pull the 100. And it's going to kind of lag. The 200 can lag. It doesn't have to pull up. But eventually, we might even consolidate like this. It might be March 15th before we start to blast to the upside and the moving averages get very tight on the 3-day chart. Now let's switch to the daily. This is what's called a top-down analysis. We started on like the 2-week chart. We went to the weekly. We went to the 3-day. We're now on the daily. You're doing a thorough analysis of Bitcoin, so you're not freaking out on the smaller time frames, so you know the levels to watch later on today, so you can have a really good sense. Your subconscious mind can build a picture of Bitcoin, and therefore when you check back in later today, you'll have a good sense of what happened and where we're at. So I see this as a daily falling wedge that wants to break out. I really do. I see the MACD with, curving up and really lack of bearish momentum. I see a thorough support here for the daily because we've bounced many times now off of 95,700, right? Boom, boom, boom. Now, yesterday, oh man, it was supposed to be the one, but it is what it is. If this candle closes bearish engulfing, and again, I'm open-minded, we may dump horribly. Sad the thing is, when a rising wedge dumps, a falling wedge dumps, which they very rarely do, they dump the base of this and they go basically straight down. So that could go to about 86,600 for BTC. And then you're very oversold, RSI, MACD. I mean, those are how I like my indicators when I'm getting into a trade. At the same time, I'm very wary of Bitcoin recently. And here we are with the 22-hour. And remember, I've talked so much about this yellow line. It's so uncanny, right? It's not... Remember, Sam talked about it here. He said, we don't want to close below it. Here, here, here. And look how much of a play it's made. We keep toying with the 200 MA on the 22-hour time frame. I keep telling you, if we can stay above it, we remain bullish. We closed one candle below it yesterday, but we were able to swing right back above it after a massive dump liquidation there. and flip it back to the upside. Same thing here. Can we stay above? This has been one of the most difficult trading 2 weeks in history. It's literally capitulated people. Like, there's people that can't handle it. They join my trading group, they're in for a month, and they're like, oh, I don't want to be in this group, I'm out. You know what I mean? Not many people leave the group, but the people that are impatient, that don't have a long-term goal, and that don't realize how much knowledge is in the group, they just want a quick hit of dopamine, and if they don't get it, they get pissy. You don't want to be that person. You know what happens to those people? They run back into my trading group next week when the market starts to rip again. Because that same emotion that got them impatient to leave runs them right back inside. You know what I mean? So it's just, I've seen it all the time. It's a constant occurrence. It's a cycle, right? I'm always here. So the finicky, fickle people, they always come right back because I'm never going anywhere. See? Consistency will how you defeat almost anybody in the, like, you will be any business, anything you want to do, be more consistent than everybody else and you'll win. It's that simple. Like, it's so obvious to me how to win and how to have the greatest life. But people don't want to sacrifice it. They want the game. They want to hang out with their buddies. I don't get to hang out a lot. I'll tell you what. My two friends came into town recently, and they grew up here. And, you know, I went out a couple nights, literally from like 8 to 11. Like last night, I went out and I played, what's that game? Cornhole, right? And at like 11, from like, I was there from like 9 to 11:30. And I hadn't been in a bar in years, man. You know what I mean? Hanging out, quote unquote, you know? And after 2 hours, I was like, I gotta go home. Like, I gotta do an update. Like, the whole time I'm doing it, I'm thinking of you guys in my trading group. Like, it's not easy to live a life when you have a trading group on your back and people that you're thinking about. Like, I do it, don't get me wrong. I find time to relax, but each and every one of you is my top priority. I've made pretty good gains in my life. I found a good place. I want to help you find good gains. I want to make sure you make it, right? So my goal now is to dedicate myself to each and every one of you. I show up every day, yes, for myself, yes, for that consistency, but because I want to show you that if we're consistent, we're going to win. Yeah. If we're consistent, you're going to win. So look, take a look at this, man. I don't live a normal life because of my channel and my trading group. And I'm not complaining. I'm just telling you, I've put my trading group and my channel first. I don't hang out like everybody else. I don't have, I'm not at the game every week, you know. I played poker with 4 people last week for the first time in 5 years. You know what I mean? I'm dedicated to my life. And I'm dedicated to my channel. If you want to live a life bigger and better than most people, you're going to have to dedicate yourself in a way that most people would never do it. 22-hour time frame playing with the Tutoring. I'd like to see this close above it today. And I know you've heard me say it here. Yes, I'm a broken record. But when we finally close above it and you see the long and we flip and you're like, okay, you'll understand. Like, my concepts are going to take time. If they were easy for everyone to understand and everyone could play them, then everyone would be making money with me. Think about it. You know, once people understand our concepts, they really start to boogie. But it takes time. If this was easy, like my dad said, everybody would be doing it. So take away the moving averages and, like, you know, there's still this idea that that's an Adam and Eve double bottom. That still looks like an Adam and Eve double bottom to me. It still has the essence of that Adam and Eve, and it's hanging out. Look at this. This is insanity. When you look at it on the 15-minute, it's even more ridiculous. So I'd like to see the 12-hour, which closes in 8 hours, to close above the Tutoring today as well. And let's go to our 8-hour time frame. And our 8-hour just struggling. Look at the 8-hour. That's just sideways nonsense. That's insanity. It's true insanity. It's just, and I see a bit of a disheveled double bottom in there. You know, and there's that has a measured move through the gap. And you can see this beautiful gap of the VRVP. So once we get a move, boom, 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 they will squeeze the shorts to 101,008. So there's some bullishness on the table, but it takes some guts to trade bullishly recently because the market has just been so sketchy. So, and this is where I'll leave you with this symmetrical triangle. These are mainly bearish, but 1, 2, you got a top trend line. All you need is 2 for a top. 3, 4 here. 3, 4, even 5, 6 almost. And you're in this, like, what I call a chubby triangle, right? These mainly break to the downside too as well. And look, that looks like a double top. I'm telling you, it's been one of the most confusing trading 2 weeks I've ever seen. Thank God that you can see it now, because before you'd be like, oh, Sam, well, he's confused. No, I'm not confused. I know exactly how to trade this chop, and I know what to do, and I'm waiting for the signals that I need, that I'm looking for. I'm looking for the confirmation below the 22. And I'm still able to take gains out this market. I've actually had a really good trading 2 weeks, so let me put this out. So what we're looking for now is the measured move of this symmetrical triangle. I know I'm throwing a lot at you, and there's a lot to look at. When I was a beginner, this was too much for me. I couldn't handle all this at once. It was too much, for sure. But I believe in you, and I know that you can do this. Sorry, let me get it squared away. We'll get rid of this line. We don't need it. I accidentally added this one. I didn't need to add it there. So, yeah, the measure move, I'd say, lines up with basically this 1, 2, 3 bottom of the trend line. So you might come up, dump. You might dump down here and fall down. And so this, to me, is a symmetrical triangle with a measured move either to 99.9, basically 100K. And look, that would take it to the 4-hour 200 MA, where we would likely get a rejection like we got there. I sold that exact top of the 1 hour. Remember, where the 1 hour and the 4 hour both hit the 200 MA? We sold that exact top. That was like the biggest, one of the bigger trades we made recently that nailed it. Again, what is this line? This is if the falling wedge breaks down. The measured move is the base of it. All right? Let me show you that to you really quick. I don't want to be too thorough. I want to be thorough with everything I do. So here, you would draw this line. Basically, this base, see? I mean, it can almost go a little longer, I guess, but that is your measured move when you dump. Now, these mainly don't dump. They, and then there's this pretty strong support around there. High volume, no, but it could slip. But it does say 88, 86,000, maybe even 85, right? If this thing lets go, it's going to let go. And when falling wedges dump, they dump fast. Like, it will go. Now, what will happen is we'll lose, like, you'll start losing moving averages. And right now, you're struggling. So here we are right now. So the 15-minute, let's take a look now at the 15. And look at this chop. I mean, this is just insane chop. There's nothing else you can say about it. It's absolute insanity. Came down, we formed, look, this was, I saw this as a symmetrical triangle. Actually, it was more of almost like a descending triangle. Well, before it made that, it had some, symmetrical, and it looked like it could go either way. They pumped it, they dumped it in a half an hour. I mean, look, that's a pump and dump in a half an hour. Where did it get rejected by? The 200 MA on the 15-minute. If you're in a trade and you get a huge pump up, it's a good place to take some profits, right? So I was actually up in my trade pretty nicely there, and they must have just dumped this right now in the last couple of seconds while I've been talking about life experiences, right? Thursday's not my favorite day to trade as well. A tough day. So look, they just double topped. They just double topped the 1 minute. Like, look at this. The price action has been so insanely manipulative and ridiculous. I laugh at it recently. And that's why I'll just trade the bigger time frame, and I'm not going to be, again, my signal still broke. Look, when the candle closed above the 200 MA, you could open up a long, and you would have been able to scalp that pump there, and then you sell when what? You're away from the 21-day moving average, and the stochastics get high. Right there would be your exit. You double top there again, and now they're looking to try to bounce the price right back up. Are they going to take out these equal highs after the double top? Because there's people that shorted that double top. And wow, man, price action is ugly as heck right now. I'll tell you what. So for me, it's really about 96,005. You've got to get back above it to remain bullish. Bitcoin's got to get back above this area. So like in the next 5, 6, 7 hours, like 96.5 has to be, if not, this is breaking down. And you got to look at this like, that's an ascending triangle technically. Ascending triangles go either way. You're already kind of more in a bearish zone, and this could continue down to 95,178. We're going to take a look at BOOKMAP for you. BOOKMAP just shows us where liquidity is, and BOOKMAP says lower. BOOKMAP, but again, yesterday it said lower, and we defied the odds and pumped to the upside. It depends on the moving averages and the support and resistance. But BOOKMAP says a massive liquidation to 94,000 is coming, and then possibly flushing us down to 91K. Still got this big short liquidation up there at 100,000, but that's where there's a big whale short in the market with a huge stop loss. If you had to go by it, and this is pretty dang accurate, it says that we're going to dump down to about 94,260 and look out down below for a dump for BTC. So it looks like there will be some massive liquidations. So again, like the market has me quite perplexed on the smaller time frames. I'm looking for the bounce in the bigger time frames. I see so many intricate little things happening that could affect the daily outcome. And we're in massive chop. Like, look at that. Like, look at that. That's ugly, disgusting chop. The only thing I would say is, okay, it's in... Like, that was a bit of a descending triangle to me. And if it can stay back out, so be it, you know. And there's a bullish divvy there, that messy price action. So what would I do? Again, I open up a long on the daily time frame, right? It's up 4%, right? I'm not right, you know. I'm not saying, oh, but you know, I'm really not going to watch the smaller time frame at all. I'm not going to get caught up in that chop. This is what's happening. The smart and efficient traders can see the chop and are unavoiding it. The foolish and emotional traders are trading the 1 minute with leverage and doing a lot of foolish stuff. And you can see that the market is just ripping them apart. So I'm zoomed out on a daily, just, you know, and I'm going to that's how I'm going to take the day. I'm not going to be, you know, getting too caught up in the smaller time frames. I would like to see the 15-minute break above the 200 MA, right? I'd like to see the daily close some key levels. You know, like we'd like to see the daily close above 96,500. Like, that's like the first step. And even if we're bearish or bullish, technically this should just chop around a little bit more before it decides its destiny. But a big move is coming for Bitcoin as we do get tighter in that zone. You can see us beginning to, you know, we had the wide range, and the wide range is going to start getting tighter again. And price action is going to get basically accordioned into a tight section, and then we're going to have to figure out where we're going to go here for Bitcoin. So, and this is where we stand for BTC. 93,700 for Bitcoin as well. Sitting pretty. If we do dig a dump, that's the level I would be looking at for a possible bounce. And we'd have to break through 95.1. High volume node sticking. So I'm long on the daily. I can't tell you what's going to happen. I will be able to react to it at the right time in the trading group. That's why the trading group is so essential, because I'll be able to see something and say, hey, we're going to flip this way or that way based on this move. And I'm looking at the price action all the time. So, you know, my advice to myself and to my friends, right, my life advice is to, you know, spend more time researching, spend time working out, spend time on your mental clarity. Don't let this market put you into depression and make you think that, like, life isn't worth living. That's a lot of people get into that zone and they don't work out. They let the financials of the up and downs of their account get into everything else in their life. It's happened to me. I'm talking from experience, like, you know, not eating right, not living life, and just completely, and again, putting way too much in the market, being overexposed, and then feeling the pain of that. Like, I've lived through it all. So, looks like a massive liquidation for Bitcoin. You see this? Just now, what I would tell you is it is a bit of a descending triangle, and you're kind of back inside it again. And if you're back inside a descending triangle, you got to take the measured move and suggest that you're going to dump. And that's why I have that line just sitting there in the middle there, but that's 95,130. And look, you're overbought on the stochastics RSI. And I tell you, whenever I'm below the 15-minute 200 MA, I remain a bear. So that's bearish. That is bearish right there. And again, my trade isn't big. Look, it's down $6. But let's take a look. The 15-minute looks like it may take a nasty dump here. My risk is $326 if we reach 93,400. See, so they'd have to beat that liquidation to take me out. I will tell you, it doesn't look good right now, though. I'd have to say that's like almost like a double top with a higher high, and you know, again, it's messy, but I would say that would likely take us further down now. Then you'd have to look at this like a bear flag, right? And just say you could dump the length of the pole. I mean, that's just it. That would hit my exact stop loss, which is uncanny at 93.4. BOOKMAP also suggests that that's where we're going, all the way down to 94,000. So, dang, man, I just identified a bit of a double top bear flag that looks like it's going to take us down. Every time something looks like something, though, they reverse the price. This has been the sketchiest price action I've ever seen in my life, almost on any asset in the world. I don't care who you're watching. They might take an L here and there because the market is, if you want to participate, they're going to throw you for a loop here and there if you choose to participate. And then this is an anomaly I've never seen, this 15-minute just battling this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, you keep hitting it, you're going to break it, right? 90, 95, 600. This is why this trade is almost like me not trading at all. $13,400 in margin, because it's just to keep me. A lot of times I trade just to keep the, putting in the stop loss, taking in the risk, like just to keep myself, just like a mechanic. Like if I didn't have anyone coming in, I'd just take apart a carburetor and I'd have an old carburetor just to work on, just to keep my hands moving, even though I wasn't really doing anything. You know what I mean? And so to me, sometimes trades are really just to be in the motion, just to be in the practice of the trading. Like right now, I have to assess risk. I have to cut the trade off or not. I don't care if it's $15. I still have to use that part of my brain. And the more I use that, the better I'm going to get at that. That's going to be part of my habitual process that I'm going to be able to fine tune. All right. I'm not going to sell the trade. I'm going to stay long on that daily time frame, and I'm going to look at this like they're just trying to scare us off. They've tried so much to dump us, but the bears don't seem to be able to. So if anyone wants to know what I'm doing, I'm in a long on the daily time frame right now. Now I'm down $2. Oh no, right? But I'm in a long on the daily. My stop is, I'll show you right here. My stop is 93,409. My take profit would take me to 118,000. I'm likely just going to get out somewhere at 102, 103. This is a day trade that I'm looking to scalp on if the daily can reverse. We've been sitting at 95.8 the entire time of the stream. BOOKMAP also suggests we're going down. I'm counter trading the odds here a little bit. But I really have, the smaller time frames are really just too confusing and choppy. I'm stepping away from them and using my bigger time frame just to kind of hang out. Yeah. Don't trade chop. Even the best TA can't deal with open mid. Yeah, exactly. Let's take a look at DOGI, XCN, LUNC, and WIF. We got some super chats coming in right now. And let's take a look at the people that are jumping on in with that fan funding. God bless each and every one of you for being here. So we got Ape, Maxi to list DOGI, DRC20 will print millionaires. Interesting. So you could put DOGI on your radar. Doggy. It's on Gate.io already. Oops, sorry. I mean, so it came out and took a beat down. Is this the same one here? Came out in December, though, right? I don't know. It looks like some type of trash, bro. I could be wrong, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. In memory of Jimmy and Irene, thank you to Canelo. God bless you. Thank you so much for saying $10 in memory of my parents. That's like putting flowers on their grave, man. Really, that's the equivalent. So, God bless you. Thank you so much. Bitcoin struggling, 95,650. Looking like it does want to take that dump. Yeah, see, descending triangle. It broke out, got back inside. Once you're inside, you have to think that you're going to break down the descending triangle yet again. They're trying to confuse me, but you can't confuse me when I trade patterns. So once you're back inside the pattern, you have to believe that this never happened. This is the trading style which I'll teach you. Is like, see, you just act like this never happened. And you just trade a descending triangle the way it's supposed to be traded. It says it's going to dump down to 95,189. And now look at that stochastics of the 15-minute are starting to kick in and looking for that dump to the downside too as well. Wow. And there you go, man. That thing looks nasty. Again, seeing if we can hold these higher lows. And my trade must be down, what, 20 bucks now? 23 bucks? Yeah. Again, I don't risk a lot on the worst days. I wish we could pull magic out the hat today, everybody. I really do. But it's just not, you know. And I could have shorted the 1 minute loss of the 200 MA, though. Right there. Boom. To the downside. Let's see the 5 minute. Yeah, the 5 minute lost to 200 right there, and that was the short. But then we've been in chop ever since. Like, when you take profit there. I'm not changing my tune. I'm going to keep my daily trade open. And I'm just going to, I'm not going to pay attention to this insane chop. It's all manipulation right now. On a low volume Thursday after one of the biggest liquidations, we also had PPI this morning. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about it. It really did a nothing burger for the market. We didn't get the volatility at the moment, but now it seems like it's kind of coming in. President Trump speaks tentatively today, too, as well. Pam Bondi laying it down to New York, man. She's not playing around. Like, she's like, Illinois strike 1, New York strike 2. We will not allow you to make our cities unsafe, she said. Like, that woman isn't playing around. Pretty insane. So we have core PPI that came out this morning, right? Price. Now, I like to inform you guys because you're like, what is this, right? PPI can differ from concept. We're looking at PPI, right? And it's not that. It's producer price index, which means the average change over time in selling prices received by domestic producers for their output, reflecting price changes from the seller's perspective. All right. PPI. PPI final demand rise 4% in January. Reserves increased 3%, right, on 2/13. And you can read the press release, find out all the numbers. You can kind of see what they're saying and compare them to the last few months. And that's all on BLS.gov. All right. Then I use Forest Factory to kind of get the quick reading. The PPI came in at 4%. It was forecasted 0.3, okay, and previous 0.5. So, yikes, right? Up a lot. So, and unemployment claims, though, down. So more people working, but yet costs are up for producers. Core PPI stayed flat, though, at a nothing burger. The actual was as forecast at 0.3. So it kind of was baked in, didn't do much, and at least Bitcoin kind of just sitting in the wayside here. Look at that wick right back to the upside. And again, I stay long. I'm long. This to me looks like a bullish divergence that's eventually going to rip back to the upside. They're just toying with the end of it, I guess. There's less people. Everyone who's trading 150x leverage, they're getting rocked either way. I'm trading on the daily, right, with a smaller account, and I'm, the odds are I could actually make some money today while everyone else gets wrecked. You see? But only my trading group will know at the end. Today is my weekly screen share. Every single week, I go over my entire portfolio. We talk about the markets. We deep dive if there's some altcoins to find out. We did find one this morning that I'm looking at that you may want to pay attention to. Everyone in my trading group knows what it is. It's a new coin by Pantera Capital looked into. And, Dan over there at Pantera, he tends to make some pretty dang good calls. So when I see Pantera going in, I get a little excited. And I've actually followed them to a few investments in the past that have done pretty well for me. So Pantera Capital is on my radar. And I see them looking at this newer coin with a pretty small market cap. We're on it in the trading group right now. We're looking at it. I'm not saying it's ready to rock immediately. But what I do is I find a coin, I research it, I observe it, and then we kind of start to get our feet wet, start to kind of figure out what's happening. Jupe rewards are live, sir. Check the DM. Thank you so much. I will hit up my rewards for Jupe. iBit iShares Bitcoin Trust on the 1 hour. Interesting. Hey, Sam, the DXY is dumping. Bitcoin D broke down from wedge. XEN still strong. Let's take a look at XEN. Let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance. And let's see what you're talking about, man. And thank you so much for the awesome insight. Let's say, Bitcoin dominance breaks down for two things, two reasons over here. So Bitcoin dominance broke out, but look, I still see it like in this consolidative place. And whenever I see this move, I kind of start looking at it like this. Now, again, maybe it dumps and continues to, but I want to see this consolidation. And if for the next 4 to 5 days we see consolidation, it's going to tell us a little indication for where Bitcoin could be going. So if Bitcoin takes a huge pump soon, this would consolidate and pump up huge. And people are going to run into Bitcoin because Bitcoin's going to rip past 100K again, 105, and possibly do a new all-time high. And everyone's going to say, oh, you were scared. Now, the altcoins, it really might not do much for them. Now, remember, if you were watching me, I showed you this cup and handle. We talked about the fact that this was going to break out. We showed you the length of that was here. And, dude, I mean, boom, right? Sammy cup and handy to the upside on Bitcoin dominance. And you can go back and find me drawing this on the macro technical analysis video every single Friday. It'll come out tomorrow. I feel like I just did it. A week has passed again like that. So we're looking for this bounce and some consolidation on Bitcoin dominance. That's kind of what you want to see. We did get this nice drop in Bitcoin dominance, but Bitcoin dominance dropped for a couple reasons. It drops when the market dips bad and people just want to run into Bitcoin instead of because their altcoins take a beat down. And this is kind of where we stand here with Tether dominance. And the manipulation all around on all these different coins. So we had this rising wedge that says, hey, we'll break to the downside most of the time. You started the breakdown and then you ripped back up, but you're still at resistance here. Kind of a shoulder head, right? You don't see that's a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. Almost an Adam and Eve with a lower bottom, though. I still see this as in a bear flag that's going to continue down. Big deal. So if you see Tether dominance break 4.67, and it if ever even slightly gets above the daily 200 MA, Bitcoin's that's a crash for Bitcoin. That means Bitcoin's going to crash. Kind of a double bottom there, no? I'm playing devil's advocate against myself, but that doesn't look amazing. So in the next 5 to 6 days, we need to see this crumble down. A week from now, you need to see this further down. Next Friday, this should be somewhere here. If next Friday we're somewhere here, the market's sick and not a good look. So in a week, you're going to want to come back to, and we'll look at it throughout, but I like to kind of set these precedents, come back 7 days and see really where we're at. This thing has to be coming back down and filling the bear flag so we can dump and get ourselves some type of bull market here. Otherwise, we're in for a black swan, something we didn't reveal, and it could be, we got to be ready for something we never thought possible, and that's a possibility. As much as I'd like to tell you it's not. We get above that 200 MA, we pump further to the upside. We're golden. We get a look at the shoulder, head, right shoulder. It dumped to the downside. I just always like to show you how the TA plays out beautifully. The 200 MA and the 21 are far apart. There was a bearish divergence. Whenever the 21 and the 200 are far apart, I teach you not to be in a trade. We want to be getting in when the moving averages are tight. So that's Tether dominance as well, kind of broken down for you. And then someone said XCN is still strong. Let's take a look at XCN. Wow, look at this puppy. So let's take a look. I mean, it's been battling the manipulation in the market, but it isn't a falling wedge. 3-day chart actually ain't even that far away from the 21-day moving average. Seems like it may have bounced off that, that 7862 from this impulse. Got a pretty good solid support there. If you did come down maybe to there. There's something brewing with XCN. I personally have a position in it now. I've been building one right now. Well, it's the one coin I bought a little bit into when people were freaking out. So I quietly took a nibble into XCN. I took a position when the market really was pretty sketchy too. But it had that huge run up. And I said, if anything reverses once the market reverses, I said the first thing to get a pump looks like it'd be XCN. So yeah, I mean, I like buying the 786, especially on the 3-day chart after a massive pump and a dump down. Massive green candle with a buy up too off of 0195. And it's actually up pretty nicely in the last 24 hours or such. Yeah, up 45% and still holding gains of 18 or 20. So this coin is hot right now compared to the rest of the market. The daily looks overbought and ready to pump. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing rips. So again, I usually don't do this, but I would, I'm in this and I'm trading this right now. So we'll see what happens. This is one of the only trades I see right now that I have good faith in with this, up and down price action for BTC. Let's get back into that, what's going on here. So we're only still down $20, just nothing to write home on, nothing dump, nothing, just sideways chop, nasty price action. This is good fishing weather. This is good, you go fishing in these types of environments. You can have your iPad next to you, you can look at your trade, you can fish all day, come back 6 hours later. Odds are the market might be in the exact same place it was the last time. Remember, when people lose interest, I buy more BTC. I was buying more Bitcoin on those dips. Those dips have, they will, I believe in 10 years from now, these prices, you won't care whether you bought 50K or 90K when Bitcoin's well over $1 million, $500,000. But again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not the guy saying you should be taken. That's what I believe. I'm already convinced that Bitcoin will go well over $500 to $1 million. Maybe I drink the Kool-Aid. Maybe they'll get me. The only other thing I think could happen is they flip it and XRP gets this massive evaluation because it becomes like, and I have enough XRP that if that happened, I actually own way more XRP, so I'd end up just as rich or richer. So I have my XRP contingency money, you know what I mean, which I still don't believe, but I keep it like a 3%, and that's how speculative an investor I am. I'll hedge a bet on something that may or may never happen just in case to keep myself covered. My XRP, I hold XRP just in case they're doing some type of rebanking, and everything we learned about ISO 222 is true, right? For me, you gotta hold that XRP conspiracy position. You just gotta. And again, I'm not a financial advisor, but I just, you know what I mean? Sam, I trust your technical analysis over every other YouTuber. We trust you, and it's well deserved. Shout out to Believer in Christ. We love you. Snowstorm here, 16-inch snow, New Brunswick. God bless you. Yeah. It's not a Sam, just look at the fair value gap that we need to mitigate. Goes all the way down, probably more than we think before we continue. Hey, you never know. I'm open-minded, my brother. That's pretty bearish right now. Like we're outside the pattern again. It is a divergence with just, look at this. This is nastiness. Again, you're going to close a candle below the 22-hour 2-to-May, which is a bear sign for me. See that? Regardless of what they're doing, I will take that as bearish. It is a higher low, though, in the set, but I'll take that as bearish. And you're getting further up in the RSI. I mean, that could just... You could almost look at this like a bigger descending triangle. Yeah, you see? And that would have a move down. Let me show you something. Funny, that was a fractal I found from BNB that looks so just like Bitcoin, but we'll see what happens. A BNB fractal on BTC. But I just saw this for one of the first times ever, too. I mean, that just has descending triangle vibes written all over it. It would take some guts, but the short would be like right there. I mean, we're below the 200 MA. We close below that, on the 22, then that's... I gotta respect the shorts, right? That is a descending triangle, you see? And like you got, like that's, I'm sorry, but that is what it is. You know, you can say whatever you want, but I've seen these 1,000 times. That would take you $78,000, all right? I might hedge that. I might open up a hedge. Keep my, you know what I mean? I'm going to rework a hedge. I'm going to think about a hedge here. It's a very possible move right there that could be happening. And I mean, BOOKMAP coincides with this idea too. At least down to 90,000. Testing the lows and maybe taking out that liquidation low again. You take out that liquidation low, 88,000. These two massive that was the biggest liquidation in the history of cryptocurrency. Logically, I don't see how we'd break it. And then again, the other idea is it an Adam and Eve? Like, they're doing a really good job of playing around. Like, I could see myself opening the short, getting stopped out. I could see myself longing this. And so right now I'm long to see where it goes. And I'll reconvene. But if the 22-hour closes below that 200 MA, which it looks like it may, it's telling you that, and look, that's a double top with resistance too at about 98,379. It doesn't look amazing. Right? Now I trade. Yeah, he goes, please don't trade leverage when Trump is planning to talk. I know, right? Does anyone know when Trump will talk? I'm going to ask the chat. Do you guys know when Trump is talking today? Yeah. And remember, I was never the guy that told you that a bull run was coming. I told you that we could have a black swan event. I told you anything is possible. Every single day on this channel, I said, I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. But I'll be honest, once I finish my videos, the videos come up, and I click on a few of them, and I'm not going to say the names of the people, but you know who they are. And they've grown their algorithms and ran their mouth and run the keywords, and they've told you 5 days from now we're going to get an alt season. It's right around the corner. Alt season is coming, and I never told you that. I never said that. I never based my channel's algorithm off feeding you nonsense, okay? I speculated on the belief that alts would pump 100%, but I told you it was pure speculation, and we never knew what could happen. So made bank today, see, and some people made good bank today. You know, today could be some of the people's best days of trading ever. You know, it all depends on how you look at it in the market, in the way you went about the trades. Look, there's the 1 minute losing the 200 MA again, and that's a short. Right there, you open a short, put the stop loss a little above, and that would be making you gains right now. Look, it's a slanted head and shoulder. You can see the head and shoulder there. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. It was supposed to break down the neckline. That's exactly what happened. So Bitcoin is collapsing, you know, just slow bleed. And if you're not ready for this, then you're going to capitulate. You're going to sell all your coins. You're going to move on. And this ain't for you, right? Again, getting rich isn't for everybody. I have to say something that's going to hurt a lot of people's feelings. I believe in each and every one of you. And I know that it can be done. I also know that many people are not going to work as hard as I did to get there, or as hard as the people that made it in any profession. And I'm sorry to say, but not everybody's going to make it. Not everybody's going to make it. A lot of people will get wrecked, depressed, sell their coins, and go back to work and say, trading wasn't for me. It's just the facts. And I'm sorry to say that, but that's a fact. What if you're going to become someone like me or become someone that failed? It's up to how many days you're willing to work. If you're willing to keep going until you win, then you're going to become someone like me. But if you, after 4 years, decide you can't do it anymore, then you're going to become a failure. The only difference between a failure and someone who's successful is the successful person failed way more times than the person who's a failure did, but continued to go. Guys, I've lost far more trades than you probably ever even thought about losing. I've lost far more money than you've ever thought about losing. The difference between a winner and a loser is the person never stops until they win. Like, I just would not stop until I win even more, until I keep winning, until I have won. You can't stop. It doesn't matter how bad it gets. Flip short, find a way. So that's like a squawking flag right there. And again, another way to look at it is like that descending triangle, right? $95,400 on a low volume, slow bleed Thursday. And despite all this, I'm still holding along, like, on the bigger time frame, because I'm not getting caught up in this nonsense. But it does look bearish. I mean, we have dropped. Sorry. I mean, that's about to be a bearish engulfing candle on the daily. There's even a little bit of like a bearish curve there on the stochastics RSI. 4-hour bearish. Yeah, that bear flag now. This is just below the 200 on the 1 hour. Rejected by the 200 on the 15. Yeah, and then I turn this into a descending triangle. I just got to get rid of that. Just I want to see my line. Yeah, back inside the descending further down. Man. So descending triangle, broke it up, faked it, got back inside the pattern, and then the probability is you would break right back down to 95, 94.8. By now, we could have bounced above this 200. The divergence should have kicked in. Once we got above the high of the divergence, you know, you got a wacky divergence now, though. Look at this. It's like, see that? That's a divergence, too, now. I'll tell you, that's a liquidation event, holding at a higher low. I tell you what, man, this has been the strangest 2 weeks of trading I've ever been through, and I've on any asset in the world. And you got the tariffs, it's just a very, at the same time, I've never felt so good about life, and I've never felt so positive. Like, you know, one of my kids is 6 months old, and I don't know if you've been around a 6-month-old baby, but it's pretty hard to be depressed around a 6-month-old baby. And I tell myself, you know, God, I only have babies around my life. I had 3 babies. I only have babies around that are mine, that I'm cherishing, that I'm so many times in my life. And if I spend all my time focused on this market depressed, while I have a beautiful child in my life, then I'm just not living right, you know? So I gotta find ways to be positive no matter what. Even though people are capitulating, even though people are pissed, even though this market sucks, right? You gotta take a deep breath and realize that you live one life to live, and no matter what, we're gonna make the best of it. I'm not gonna be a crab to my family. Like today, when I end the stream, I could easily be in a bad mood for the rest of the day. Don't talk to me, the markets, you know what I mean? But what will that do for my kids and my family? Yeah, my altcoins are beat down. Yeah, I'm losing hundreds of thousands of dollars a day, for crying out loud. It's insane. Hey, I own Bitcoin. Every time Bitcoin loses $1,000, I take a beat down on unrealized. But you know, I wasn't here for the money. I was here for the experience. I was here for the learning. I was here for the everything that comes with it. Let the money be a byproduct of everything else, of my learning, of your learning too. Same for you. Let the money be a byproduct of your experience, of your ability to continue to push. The money will come if you find your way. I firmly believe that. But if you chase money your whole time and never find your way, you'll probably just keep losing all the money you make. You really need to have self-discipline and a sense of self, especially when you make a lot of money. A lot of money will turn, if you're a really good person, a lot of money will make you an even better person. If you're weak, you know, to the errors of your ways, to the flesh, if you're weak to the sins of the flesh, then money will just make it even worse. So look, you're kind of praying for some type of like head, right shoulder breakout here. Or so I can't even conceive of what's happening here. A broadening, falling wedge. A descending wedge. A broadening, descending wedge, right? A bullish divergence there. Oversold stochastics with the low. And I'm staying bullish on the daily time frame. There's nothing else I could tell you here. I'm choosing this, what 5, 6, 7 hours from now, right? This thing could boom, short squeeze everybody. We'll be up here, and I'm like, how did he do it? He did it again. Now, I could also dump, and I'll be down. I'm like, oh, Sam's a loser, right? It's so funny. People will judge you when you're live on YouTube. Hey, brother, best for Germany. Love your work. Thank you. God bless you. They liquidated everyone this month. So most give up and go back to their 9-to-5 jobs. Not me, man. They have to cause us how to get their money back. BTC too high. I see long now. Anyway, you never really lose until you sell. It's all unrealized gains, just numbers until you sell. Made some mistakes last year that was costly. Still have Bitcoin and IRA. Happy for that. Went sober this year to correct what I lost. God bless you, man. And there you go. Better chance of winning down I've seen, but I remember bullish, so yeah. Billy Bobbly Swagger, Sam, are you currently running any promos in the group? I'm ready to join. Bring 100K back with me. Need to get to a 500,000. I mean, right now the group is very reasonably priced at less than $3 a day, and I feel like for what I do and how much I work, I mean that is just an exceptional price. So, and every day I'm here live giving free concepts. I feel like your discount is this live stream. Show up every day, get the ideas, go over what I'm talking about. And you should be able to make gains with what I teach you here. A lot of people make gains with what I teach you there. I'm not saying everybody does, but I've had many testimonials where people write back and say, hey, I made a lot of gains with what I learned from the stream. Yeah. All right, shout out to everybody here. Shout out to Kraken. Shout out to Josh Johnson. Shout out to Marcus. I've blown out 3 accounts. I still trade. Hey. You got 100K at Frankly oh, come on. No, he's just saying, I don't know. We should put down. Yeah, I'd be careful, man. Let's be easy, man. Anyway, whatever. I'll just dismiss. The material you have in the Discord is worth way more than $100. Thank you. Yeah. I'm going back to work because I lost my money in the futures market, but I'll be back once I start up again. Again, J Soul, I made my first few millions never trading futures. I never traded futures, man. I spent everyone thinks they're going to throw 30 grand into futures, a 2-year bull market, and they're going to become a millionaire. Everyone. I went through 3 bull runs. I started trading when I was 25 years old. I didn't even come close to $1 million until I was like 38. You see what I'm saying? That was like 4 years ago. I'm telling you, it took me a long time to get rich. All right? And I don't even know if you consider rich. So just out of the rat race. Let's just say it took me a long time to get out of the rat race. From the day I decided I was going to do it, and I gave up for months, went back to work. Then I said, no, I'm not going to do this. Because then I went back to work and thought there was nothing else. Like there was no dream of me becoming an amazing trader. There was no dream of something bigger. The dream of me giving up on my dreams was so much more depressing than anything else. As long as I believed that something could happen to me, I was able to stay positive. You know? Now, for the rest of my life, my dreams may never had to have happened, but I believe that they were, and I was always going after them. Now, it was really nice to have some of them actually happen, like the live stream actually happened, the YouTube channel actually happened, because for years I had a lot of dreams, and they didn't happen, I'll be honest, and it was a bit depressing to keep dreaming and not having any of the dreams actually come to fruition, but I never stopped dreaming. I never stopped believing, no matter how dark it got, no matter how horrible it was. You see what I'm saying? I always had hope, and I always had the belief that something beautiful, I was going to have a beautiful story. I believe when I left this earth, my life was you're going to read my life story, and it was going to leave a lasting impression on you. That's what I always believed. And all of us are special. Every one of us has this ability to be unique and to bring something to the table that nobody else has, because every one of our experiences is unique. I don't have your vision and perspective. I wasn't raised by your mother and father. I didn't see what you saw. You have something to bring to the table that I don't have. Just like I have something to bring to the table that you don't have. The world is waiting for all of our uniquenesses. When you don't give the world your uniqueness, you deprive the world of greatness. And if you're at a bar all day drinking, or you're using drugs and alcohol, or if you're depressed, there's no way you're going to give the world the essence of who you are. You know, you got to go after your destiny and answer that question, who am I? And who do I want to be? And through that, you can change the world by changing yourself. And that comes back to the first thing we talked about at the beginning of the live stream. So, looking back at this TA, I mean, do you bounce back to the top of the channel now? One would assume so with the oversold stochastic. And with the 15-minute, showing a bit of an odd Oh no, the 50-minute. Yeah, the 50-minute showing this odd divergence. This like rising wedge thing here. You know, I would be looking at the 1 for a bear flag. M pattern. Like, look, it's just. That does want to take you lower, 94.8, right? BOOKMAP suggests we could go lower, but the liquidity isn't as thick as it was before. It was way thicker before. It's kind of dried up a little bit. Still want to take it down to 95 even, though. That's 95,783 right here. See, look at this. This is like... You look for this to chop up. And you'd hope for like some type of inverted again. I mean, this is just nasty price action. And with massive liquidations, CPI, PPI, and lower volume on a Thursday, you're asking for treachery. You are asking for treachery. All right. I'm still in the long. Can you believe that? Just whatever, right? You know how many people got liquidated since I've had this trade open? You know what I'm saying? You know how many people have chased? People have long shorted, revenge traded. People have blown up $1,000 accounts since I've sit here and watched a $55. And they're broker than me. You know how many people broker than me today got liquidated? Or last week? I just held on, made my little bit of monies. Because a rich person, a wealthy person knows that every little gain adds up to more. Because you know why? Gratitude leads to more. And so I realized the other day, all I needed, I was playing poker with someone the other day. And it was a very little pot. And the guy hadn't won a pot yet, and he took it in, and he was like, nothing. I was like, yeah, but that's your first chance to be grateful. I was like, and we all know gratitude leads to abundance. I said, so it hit me, and I realized that like the smallest win is actually your biggest win, because when you have a small win, you're able to create the frequency of gratitude. For instance, let's just say you walk somewhere, or you go to someone's, you go somewhere, and your friend's like, oh, dude, I had a slice of, you were really hungry, you were trying to go to 2 places, you had to drop something off to a friend's house, and you say, I'll do it anyway, even though I'm hungry, and you slide by the guy's house, and he goes, dude, we just ordered a pizza, there's a slice left, no one wants it, you can have it. And you grab it, and you're like, man, I'm so grateful for that one slice. And then you go home, and, let's just say your wife's friend comes over and says, oh, I was going to cook fajitas with you guys, I had this good idea, we had extra meat, and next thing you know, you're eating this big fajita dinner at your house, and you're even more grateful, because you were grateful for the slice of pizza you got at the very beginning. The small sense of gratitude leads to abundance. So cherish any win. If you can make $100, it means you can be grateful. And if you can be grateful, it means something more can come to you. So I love a $100 win. I love a $50 win. I love a $10 win. I'm not trying to be a big shot here. And I know there's multimillionaires that will laugh at me, spit out their coffee, and say, this guy's a loser talking about $50 online. But when I die, when I leave this earth, or whatever lasting imprint I leave with you guys and girls, I know it's going to have an effect. And it's not about me showing off, and it's more about leaving the frequency that leads you to abundance, right? If I can help you find abundance, I've done my job. Let's take a look here at the market in total and see anything happening on CoinMarketCap. We'll also jump into those fan fundings and what you people are saying. Trump hanging on at 16, actually up 11% today. Worth trading if you think about it, right? I mean, not many things are up 11%. Monero holding its own, actually. The privacy coin at 225. No one really selling off Monero. SWI at 350, which to me is pretty dang strong, up 10% in 7 weeks. So SWI is one of the strongest things in the game right now. Ton 370. Yeah, KuCoin shares ain't bad, really, when you think about it at $12. I remember when KuCoin shares were $1. So they're still holding a 12x from like 3 or 4 years ago, which it's like a 4x a year, which ain't bad. Cardano, 78 cents, up 10%. All coins aren't doing too bad. They seem to be kind of revisiting a little bit of a bounce. Let's take a look at what they look like on Bear to Bubbles in the last hour. Bearish. But in the last day, look, Trump coin up 11%. Atom up 4.5. Maybe that's Pam Bondi laying down the law, got Trump coin pumping, right? You never know. There's some connection there. When Pam Bondi speaks, Trump coin pump, baby. She's saying, no, you don't circumvent the federal government. The feds, baby. They're going to tell you what's up with the power of the federal government. Anyway, so, hey, a little bit of a bounce today. Jitto up 8%. Cass, SWI, a little bit of hope in this altcoin market. BNB resurging, cake up a little bit, bake up a little bit. BNB with that TST, and they got new code and they're coming out strong. I've never given up on BNB. A lot of people have. They forget about it. They move right on to SWE and all these new. BNB has always been fast. BNB has always been pretty low cost too to use. I've loved BNB. BNB made me a massive amounts using Cake and figuring out how to use the Cake ecosystem. And I was a big DeFi guy for a long time. I still am. Don't get me wrong. I just do a lot more trading now than ever. So we're watching this flag now on the 1 minute time frame. It does look like a head and shoulder pattern beginning to form. Let me show you what I mean by that. Like it's kind of like, shoulder, head, right shoulder there. If this flags out and continues, it'll likely dump you down to 94,800. Let's take a look at the fan funding and see what's happening there today as well. Super chats, LUNC, Captain, BNB, USDT, COC on ADA, Mine, BTC, Link, WIF, XYO, and MANDY. Let's take a look at LUNC real quick. I will also call out the names of the people that gave those super chats. Don't get me wrong, you will be called out. I'm going to say, yo, you're the best. So XEN, I'm in a position. I got $6,000 in it. We'll see what happens. I can't believe I have the guts to trade this, but I'm trading something. I think this thing has potential. And what if 2-3 weeks from now I make $6, $7, $8,000? Everyone's going to be like, how did he do it? He bought he bought when everyone else was freaking out. Wow, look at all the balls of the jar. Thank you so much for that super chat. That's very nice of you. Hey, how can you live in this cycle where CZ is manipulating? I mean, you gotta have here for me, man. Broccoli is CZ's new dog. Watch out for memes. He posted about the dog 30 minutes ago. Broccoli, huh? This is my dog, Broccoli. I mean, that thing's gonna rip. There's probably 100 Broccolis out right now. Dude, not even all will retire. And kept the higher low, though. That might be the in right there. All will retire. Still on my radar. Broccoli, CZ's dog, $50 million market cap. There it is. Broccoli. So it's in there. And it just came out. It got rug pulled though. Or, I mean, maybe it comes back. Just the beginning snipers. See, they snipe and they sell. Snipe and they sell. There's Broccoli on Sol too, though, with a tiny market cap. I mean, you got to play the one on BNB if you think about it, because it's, it's the only way. This one is tiny, though, and just began. I don't know. You got to be careful. But you heard it here first. His dog is named Broccoli. Looks like it's a little Scotty dog or something. CC's dog, Broccoli. Having our second child today, baby girl. God is good. Prayers. We'll be here tomorrow as usual. God bless you, brother. Adam, long-term TA. Shout out to Cryptoholic Love. God bless you. Thank you so much. We got 2,000 people in the chat. 674 likes. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. That would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for the love. Let's take a look at Luna C and see what's happening. So that bear flag looks like it's going to dump. Let's just be honest, right? And again, even that beautiful setup on XCN, that thing will dump if Bitcoin dumps. To me, Luna C looks like it just beat to the ground. Some say no, it finally broke this resistance. Okay. But I just see it making like an elongated, like rounded bottom here. Similar to how it did here. Nothing to write home about, honestly. I'll keep you up to date if it ever gets hot, but I'd probably move on from that. And maybe I'm wrong, but I'm all set. Captain BNB on USD/XC here. So this is a new speculative coin. Came out nicely at 1 penny, ripped all the way to 6 cents, did a nice 6x. And now it's in this falling wedge that wants to break back up, I guess. For me, I mean, I really wouldn't. I would maybe swing trade it if it got back above 3 cents, 3.386 right there. You know, it's above the 200. So this is what I'm looking for. It could reverse and I miss the aggressive entry. Gets above the 200, pulls the 21, creates a flag to the 21. And I take like that section. That might take 4 days before I could even make that trade. Bitcoin 95,600. Looks like it's going to collapse down to 94K. Look at that, just beautiful boom. Just they've got all the liquidity waiting for it to dump to 94,000. And we are in a bear flag now. They're on that 1 minute time frame that looks like it may just continue to dump. So I see a bear flag down to 94,800 here. That's what's starting to form. I don't know if that's going to, but right now that's what's starting to happen. Can we get out of this manipulation? It'd be so nice. This is absolute insanity every day. Let's take a look at COCK on Cardano on ADA. And we'll look at Tap Tools for you here. TapTools.io, where you can find your Cardano coins. Okay. I don't know which one it is, though. Oh, there it is, yeah. I was about to say. 3.6 FTV. I mean, it's back to that 786. See that? I mean, that's where I would be getting busy, right? I mean, that's beautiful. You're buying the low, but again, it could easily go to zero. It's memes. And Cardano memes don't really do that well. Not to be rude, I love Cardano. I've held it since 2 cents, and I'm a huge supporter of Charles and everything Cardano. But I'm just also an honest guy, all right? Thena is the arrow of BNB. I know, and I love it. It's awesome. Let's take a look at Mine BTC. Mine BTC on MEXC. So this new coin dropped, went sideways, made a bit of an inverted head and shoulder in attempting to hold this upper trend line and then break like a support and resistance here. It's got a major resistance at about 61 cents. Could get all the way further back up to about 75. There's the low, there's the high, there's the higher low. Can it break back up and head all the way to 75 cents? And there to 1 and 1.7, I don't know, not my cup of tea. Looks pretty weird to me, but, and very low volume as well. Hard to tell on that, man. If anything, you want to maybe flag this out like this and see if it makes it an ascending triangle, and then if it does, then you trade that. Bitcoin hanging at 95.5. It may eat up that liquidity, and those stop losses may just disappear. They may get shook, and then the liquidity will enter back to the top side. I keep the long open on the daily, only down 41 bucks, and after 2 hours of complete shenanigans, we're still in the trade. Let's take a look at Chainlink. And you guys know I love my Chainlink too. Wow, all the way back to 18, but still holding compared to the rest of the market. I see Chainlink bouncing here eventually, getting sideways, and then eventually booming. See how it's holding this trend line? I say this is a great place to accumulate Chainlink, and I could be wrong. But it's good utility. It hasn't really blown up yet because I think they're hiding what they're really going to be connecting with. I think you're going to see some BlackRock, RWA, Chainlink, Ondo. I am betting on a Chainlink Ondo partnership, something coming out. And again, there's no speculation. I haven't heard any of this. This is just completely out of my mind. But I wouldn't be surprised one day, Chainlink and Ondo, and boom, it creates a pretty big frenzy. WIF is done, man. These altcoins are, these memes are done. They had their time. Thing is 60 cents. Everybody sold it off. It lost in the major trend. See, once in a trend, one, boom. It lost the major trend. Does it come back? I don't know. Most people have sold these to zero, and they're going to use them as cost, lost against their wins next in 2025 if they have any. To me, it's done. Yeah. Yeah, you want a DCA and find out? It's up to you. I wouldn't do that. And I could be wrong. Maybe these are the greatest prices for WIF ever. I don't speculate past that. That's done for me. If your speculation goes that far, good for you. I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? I like when a coin just comes out, because when it just comes out, who can sell it? They don't even, and then you trade that. And then you leave it to the wayside. You don't buy things that everyone's already eaten. Again, cup and handle, it's lost. This thing looks done. Cooked. Why would you buy it? It has no utility. The only reason it had an idea is because other people thought other people would buy it. If nobody's going to buy it now, then you're kind of left holding the bag, aren't you? We said this about these memes over and over again. We said, be careful. You'll be left holding the bag when it's all over, but nobody believed me. And I speculated in them, don't get me wrong. I was willing to lose, but they weren't my mainstays. I know a lot of people had all their money in meme coins, man. All these Patreons that charged people $99 a month, and all they did was tell people how to buy the most horrible coins in the game. I'm different. I speculate on those horrible coins when the time is right. Like when the time is right, we'll trade those. We'll trade anything. We'll trade it. But then when the market gets busy, I say, hey, let's hold off. Let's not do that anymore. These other traders, they don't know how to read TA, so they keep feeding their students and they keep feeding the people in their group garbage. And they all those patrons are going to go basically VIP trading group, all that stuff. There's like 1,000 of them. They popped out of nowhere. They're all going to go. I've seen them. I've had my group. I watched them all come up. Oh no, competition. They all fall off because they have no idea. They don't spend any time on technical. Technical analysis takes years to perfect. You have to give it a lot of your life. And there's value to that. And if you're not willing to give that time and that value, then you're not going to really understand the markets that well, no matter how much you think you do. You're going to be around it. You're going to watch YouTubers. You're going to think, oh, I'm a trader. No. Someone who speculates on meme coins and is an influencer KOL is not a technical analyst. I'm just being honest. They don't spend the time. They don't live in a bot brain. Like, they don't live in a probability mindset. Like, I'm short when we lose the 200 MA. I'm long when we don't. Like, they don't do that. They're going to peddle you meme coins when we're below the 200 MA. They're going to keep telling you to buy when we've lost key levels on the daily. Like, they're going to peddle altcoins at you when we've lost major levels on the weekly. You know what I'm saying? These people are, they mean well. They're young kids that learn the market. They do find you some good gems. If you listen, sometimes you do pay the 99 and they do give you a couple hundred X's. I'm not hating. It's great. But it's not a sustainable business. None of them are. Okay? And I just want to make that clear. I teach technical analysis. That is a sustainable business. You can use my technical analysis skills for the rest of your life in a short market, a long market, a bear market. Heck, I could teach you how to sit on your hands sideways and identify when the market is sideways. I can teach you how to identify the best probability, the low probability, and when you should trade and when you should not trade. The charts are going to teach you when you should deploy capital and when you should not deploy capital. There's always going to be a moment in time that you can capitalize on the knowledge that I teach you, no matter what, whether it's a meme coin or, you know what I mean? So God bless all the VIP patrons out there. I love you guys, but that's also not a sustainable industry. We want to make this how do you become respectable? You become long time. How does a supermarket become respectable? Long standing, not someone that just opens up for a few years and leaves again. And so if we have too many people doing that, the industry itself becomes it becomes like, Swiss cheese. So we want more sustainability in crypto. We want people that have more sustainable businesses. And we got to stop this meme coin speculation as your total VIP join. And why? And another thing I got to say, and I'm done saying, this is my last rant on it. Why do they all use the same name? Join my VIP. Like, is it that freaking? Are they that mindless? Like, if you join my VIP Discord, join my VIP Patreon. Like, what? You can't find another way to call it? I called mine the 99. Like, you can't find some other way to call it? Every single one calls it their VIP. Blah blah blah. I'm like, dude, like, it's kind of corny, man. You know what I mean? Like 1,000 dudes with their 1,000 VIP. I don't know. I guess I'm going on a bit of a rant here, but join my trading group. I teach you how to trade. You could trade Forex. You could trade anything in the world, man. Okay. Yo, broccoli just got listed on Mexican. You're funny, man. Yeah, they don't play it around. Bitcoin at 95,250, getting the beat down. So let's take a look at BTC here. And look, that descending triangle dumped to the target. Once you got back inside the descending triangle, told you would dump right to 95,174. Look at that. Crazy. Why didn't I short it then, Sam, right? I'll be honest, man. This market has been tough. Even for me. I'm not going to act like I'm invincible. This has been absolute insanity. Now you've got an extended bullish div. Like, look, this is like, see how this keeps forming an uptrend on the RSI, but you got this elongated downtrend. I've seen that spark a liquidation event the other way. I am bearish because you're below the 200 MA. I'm bearish because the 22-hour is now below the 200 MA as well. And I told you, when that candle closes, which is in 4 hours and 59 minutes, I'm going to be a bear again. A real nasty bear, too. Like a bear that thinks this bear flag's going to dump on you all the way down. Now, I'd rather get stopped out, flip it back up, and be called wrong, and then I'll trade long again. Don't you understand? Like, I don't need to be right. Even, like, right now, we close here, I open up a short, I put a stop here. The odds are in my favor that I'm going to win. Now, it may be the 20% of the times that I don't, and you just started to watch me, and you say, this guy sucks as a trader. I have to be okay with the fact that you're going to come in the middle of my data set. I could have made 200 trades straight, and I could win 180 of them. And then you could watch me lose 20, but you could watch just when I lose 20 trades and think I'm the worst trader in the world. Unless you watch me for 100 days, 200 days, you're never going to really truly know how good of a trader I am. I just have to be honest with you. And that's the facts, right? 95.3. I mean, look, this looks like a bear flag now. Let's look at this. And it's changing every second. The market is that sketchy. It's changing every second on us. But that's a bear flag. And you've lost the 200 MA. It tells me to close my long and begin to short this market right now. With the stop right there. But because if it gets too far away, I won't have coverage. I'm almost a little out of my... Yeah, see, it's like... Hold on. Sorry. Entries are really key for risk. For me. Yeah, see, that's almost out of my risk on the entry because, you know, I'd have to ride the trade way further down to get... For it to be a viable... Like, I like a 2-to-1 risk-reward ratio. A 3-to-1, so... I'd have to get to 86,000 there. Tell you, man, the 22-hour 200 MA has been my, like, today it looked like we were going to be above it and everything looked like we might, you know, last night it looked good. See? That's why I took this, you know, and all I can do is be willing to get taken out. Man, they've had us here. They did this the other day, and I thought, well, okay, we're definitely going to dump, and then they reversed it. Hey, Sammy, let's just say I have zero experience with trading and decide to join your exclusive chat. Will I be able to make some profit within a 5-month period? I have no clue, man. I'm a fisherman, right? I teach a bunch of people how to fish. Some kids are able to fish really well. Other people just keep doing emotional damage to themselves. Are you going to have a girlfriend that takes you out half the time and you drink with her just because she likes to drink, and then you're going to be hungover half the time and not hit the trades? I don't know your lifestyle, man. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're into. I don't know who you have in your life. I mean, that's a bold question to make, right? There's a lot of influences on whether you're going to make it or not in trading, right? It's not just the charts, man. It's going to be, you know, who do you have in your life? Let's take a look at Adam. On MEXC here. I mean, to the beat down at the 886 retracement, like, this is horrible. Like, how much lower can it go? Pretty sad, man. And it was the attention economy. You had too much attention around too many altcoins at the same time. And I figured it out at one point. Remember, I said, man, this is insane. And then all the attention went right into Trump coin at one time, and we still haven't recovered. That was a black swan event, everybody. Don't get me wrong, Donald Trump, the administration, it's all, but that was a black swan. That indirectly was a beatdown on the crypto market. Everybody sold every coin they had to get into Trump, and the sad thing is too, a lot of people sold everything they had closer to the top and then sold Trump too. So they sold all their altcoins. They got into Trump at maybe 60, 50 bucks. And then when it capitulated down at 20, 30, they sold it all at a loss. And so they took all these beautiful alt positions that were set up for a big gain later on, as long as they were, and they decimated them, and then they lost their entire accounts. Other people did it on leverage and then got absolutely obliterated. So I still hold Atom. I have a big old bag of it. This is your greatest price to buy right now. And it's a good ecosystem with a working product. It's awesome. Like, Atom is great. It's got a real team. It's been around a long time. It's not going anywhere. Bit strange, you know? Imagine full porting along in the middle of the bull run, a day before full moon. This is what I bring to the lifers. Amen. Well, today, the full moon was yesterday, right? The full moon was last night. Last night was a full moon. I sit out in my patio on the full moons. I really do. I believe last night was the snow moon, if I'm correct. The February 12th snow moon. Look at that. We had the wolf moon, the snow moon, the worm moon, because the worm moon's when the ground gets warmer and the worms start to move. And the east, up in the northeast, that's why we call it March 4th. You know, the low depths of the earth start to kind of, you know, the worms. And then we get the pink moon because, wow, this flower, you know, that's when the beginning of flower season. And then the flower moon because May 12th we're flowering. Strawberry because that's literally when the strawberries come out. Okay. The buck moon because that's when you hunt the buck. Or when the bucks when the bucks mate. That's mating season for the bucks. The sturgeon moon, which is a sturgeon is a buck too. Isn't a sturgeon like a... Oh no, it's a fish. A sturgeon, right? What is a sturgeon? I'm educating you here. Yeah, it's a fish, dude. It's a family of fishes, okay? The sturgeon. That's when the fish are, become multiplied. The corn moon, when we harvest the corn. The harvest moon, we harvest almost everything. The beaver moon, when the beavers come out and begin their dens and then hibernate. And then the cold moon, and then back to the wolf moon. It's a fish over here. It's a pop over. So I'm staying long for Bitcoin despite the fear. And I wouldn't be surprised if we get this higher low bounce liquidation. So I can't tell you what's going to happen, but I can show you that I got the guts to keep my trade open. See, when I win a win, it doesn't mean I knew what was going to happen. It means I just had the guts to hold it. Look, that will rip, and then I'm going to show my win to the trading group, and everyone's going to be like, how the heck did he not get liquidated today? It was the worst day of trading ever. I kept my cool. I stayed level-headed. And no matter what, he said, what was a black swan? The Trump coin. Yeah, it was a black swan for all coins. It definitely was. And I believe these are the best prices for Bitcoin. DCAing into BTC in these areas is a look. Wow, I looked at this and I said, this looks good. Looks like a good pump to the upside. It actually did that. It went up 96% from when I first called it out. I squiggled this line, drew it up, and then the bigger target, why can't it get there? So I see Mandy headed further to the upside. Shout out to Mandy. She's a real person. She said hi to me before, and she thanked me. Mandy, I'm not promoting your coin. She said, thank you. I'm not promoting the coin. I don't own any of it. I just did TA, and the TA said it was going to go up. So I'm very, I wash my hands. I'm a mediator. I don't really, I just can see the technical analysis play out. The odds of this playing out were good. It did that. If you had watched my TA taking the shot, this is up 70%. Mandy coin. And that's on Solana, on Radium. It's got a really strong group of people. PMG, Project Moon Gold. I believe he has something to do with it. Again, I have nothing to do with it. All right. Trump in general is the black swan for all the markets with all this. Oh, no. I'd like to see what happens when you do something different. Usually when you do something different, there's a bit of uncomfortability at first. So yeah, the tariffs shouldn't be perfect. It should be a little bit of wiggle room. But then once things kind of go off, everything will make sense. All All right. Shout out to the fan funding. I just want to call out everybody that's so awesome here that shows up every single day, no matter what, and pushes the channel. We got Mexi hitting, we got Doji hitting Mexi. And memory of my mother and father from Canelo. That's blessings. IBIT shares. Jupe rewards alive. Thank you, Stas. I'll take a look at those. Sam, DXY is dumping. We looked at DXY. Thank you. And XCN and Bitcoin Dominant. I hit you with the 3 LEG, which I usually don't. But I wanted to see them too. So you got, we got Gamba Galaxy for Chainlink. You're the most genuine guy on YouTube. Please whiff. Whiff looked horrible. Shout out to Amin Yazine. Sam, you're awesome. I've learned so much TA from you. Thank you. God bless you, my friend. Margaret, you're amazing. Hey, Sam, what's your info? I can see it on it. Much love to your livers out there. Go to decrypted.tax. Blessing, Sam. Can you look at Luna C, please? Thank you. Check MANDY coin. We looked at that. I didn't get to look at XYL 3-month chart. I gave 3 super chats 2 days ago for Captain BNB. Yeah, but we weren't 2 days ago when we were doing the Fed meeting, right? Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Like, we couldn't go through super chats during the Fed meeting. It wasn't obvious, right? So, yeah, and they all, I don't know, they all look a little sketchy, Ricardo, but I hope, having our second child today, God bless you, Cryptoholic Love. And we talked about Lev there with HK. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. And can you please take a look at Dogen? It's new. I'll look at it on my own. And then if I think it's worth talking about, I'll go over it. But thank you so much for that. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. I am still long for Bitcoin despite the insanity. Let's see what happens. I'm still long. Let's wait for the 22-hour to close below the 200 MA or not. We have 4 hours and 48 minutes. It's going to be tough. Everyone, I love you. Thank you so much for being here. If you send in a super chat while I'm walking out the door, I get it. I guess some of you don't watch this at the right time, so you're not seeing when I'm actually leaving. I'm going to do Litecoin, but this will be the last super chat, everybody. Litecoin actually looks bullish compared to the rest of the market. I'm actually happy that you asked me about Litecoin, so I'll give that to you. I mean, look at it. It's consolidating beautifully, and it looks bullish. It doesn't look bearish at all. It may come down to the bottom of the channel to 107 or something, but that would just be consolidation. Looking for kind of a right shoulder there. Litecoin looks interesting, and I don't know what's happening, but it's funny. Like, there seems to be some action here for Litecoin. So if all coins that look hot right now, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Litecoin looks hot compared to the rest of the market. Something going on with Litecoin here. Are they reworking it? Is there a new team? Is there some behind-the-scenes news? Are they going to be brought into one of the coins that, like, the government uses or something? Like, is Litecoin have an in? Very interesting for Litecoin. So I'll keep that on the radar. Thank you so much for Litecoin. Has anyone seen Tom? Who's Tom, man? Has anyone seen Tom? Oh, Tom Crown, you mean? I don't know if you wrote Torn or Tom. What do you mean, has anyone seen Tom? What the heck are you saying there? What do you mean by that? Oh, because he's so into Litecoin. Yeah. Funny, you guys. I'm not good at picking up on, like, my mind's in like a teaching mode. I can't pick up on, I'm not good at, I make the jokes, okay? You don't make the jokes over here. Oh yeah, the Litecoin ETF though is going to be pretty big. That's actually a pretty big deal. So whatever, that's pretty odd. So Litecoin looking strong. Solana looking strong. And we got ETFs everywhere. Cardano ETFs. I mean, if you're going to get reserves, there's going to be ETFs to follow. Like, people are going to want to make that move. All right. Litecoin on the monthly looks amazing. Yeah. Oh, Tom from Tom from MySpace. Yeah, remember Tom? God bless you, Bitcoin Bill. I love you, man. I know what you're saying now. So sorry. I'm just such a not funny guy there. I didn't make as many jokes today. Today was a little more serious. Bitcoin's still at 95,660 playing us right now on this low volume day, right? And Costco putting Bitcoin ATMs in all stores, likely on those Litecoin. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Sold my MySpace for $50 million and went to live his life. I know, right? Yeah. Anyway, I love you all. God bless each and every one of you. And I'll see you tomorrow. Stay locked in. We're on our way to 100,000 subscribers. That is the goal. No matter what this market does, I am focused on my goals. And you should be too. 95.8. There's a good chance somehow, some way I win this daily trade that I'm in right now. I know it seems so insane, but hey, they've tried to get me. They've almost made me sell out of fear so many times. I just stay strong in front of each and every one of you, no matter what. Here's the trade, man. It's up 14. It's not even, I'm strong, man. Look at that bounce right now. The 1 hour's bouncing strong off this divergence, whatever this mess is. I'm also I shouldn't do this logical speaking, but the biggest liquidation in history, right? On February 2nd there, and you're telling me there's more money, they can find more money to liquidate the markets even more? Where are they going to get it? It's like draining the oceans. It's like you're a giant and you drink all the water in the ocean, and then where are you going to get your next cup, man? Where's the liquidity coming from? It doesn't make any sense. Shout out to everyone. If you want to trade where I trade, go to MEXC. That's where my trade's open. MEXC, the least amount of fees in the game. They charge basically zero for a lot of their trades. It's absolutely absurd. I've never heard of it. Next best is Weeks. Jump into Weeks today to find out more. WEEX.com. And everyone that uses my links hooks me up. Thank you so much. Shout out to BOOKMAP. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Shout out to my whole team and everybody that makes this show amazing. God bless you all for being here. Thank you so much. And we'll be back tomorrow for another amazing, just positive kick butt live stream, baby. Keeping you going, keeping you motivated, and giving you the words of wisdom and the mental strength to push through when the rest of the market is collapsing. We will continue to find our way. I'm telling you, I've done it. I perfected it. I go back to back. I bookend years, man. I don't take days off. I'm going to be here, God willing, inshallah, for a while. So I love you all. God bless you. The secret to success. You know what the secret to success is? It's getting started.